Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, good. Hi, my name is Helen Mullally. I'm the manager of the user assistance team at Alfresco. We're sometimes known as the Docs team, and in the Twitter world we're known as Alfresco Docs. I'm really grateful to be at my first BeeCon, and thank you for the opportunity to talk about what we do in the Docs team. So we're a relatively small documentation team, considering the size of the engineering effort. And the number of products that we support. We cover both process services and content services. We sit within the product development organisation, but you'll find us embedded within the engineering teams. But we also work across the whole organisation, so product managers, testers, and the customer support team. So we're generally known as the team who write the docs. And the public face of what we do is the docs.alfresco.com site. What you may not know about us is that we cover a lot more as technical communication activities. So for example, we write some very quick step-by-step videos. At the moment they just cover the end user side, but we are trying to sort of grow into the more technical end. We write and review all of the text that's included in the user interface for the product. So that includes on-screen instructions, general naming and terminology, and also through to things like error messages as well. And more recently, we've been involved in assisting with the creation of the text within the REST API Explorer. Jan mentioned it earlier. Thank you. And above all of this, we define the standards for how the documentation is written and the UI copy. So we have our own standards style guide, and we also have a set of writing guidelines for engineers, and that's really to help set the tone of voice across the product. So last year, Alfresco conducted a developer survey, and some of you may have responded to that. And you told us quite a lot. We learned quite a lot from your responses. And documentation featured quite heavily throughout that survey. So what did you tell us? You told us that documentation was an extremely useful resource. It's considered to be more useful than the forums, which was a surprise to me, and more useful than Wiki, which was actually a relief to me. You told us that the most significant reason for Alfresco resources, for using the Alfresco resources, was for specific answers to your technical questions. So that's kind of really critical to what we do in documentation. So you also responded with lots and lots of really in-depth, free-form feedback, and you focused particularly on the quality of the documentation. And while you've recognised that we've made great strides in the coverage of the documentation, you've said that we're not quite reaching that next level. So we've taken on board quite a lot of that feedback. So some of the areas that you've identified were things like usage examples. You wanted practical exercises such as webinars and examples with source code. You're looking for more sample code to help ease startup with new topics. You're looking for tutorials, so getting started guides. I heard cookbooks mentioned yesterday, that's really good. So more tutorials on customizing Alfresco in Java, for example. And then those technical videos, you've mentioned that too. So you want more examples of advanced Alfresco on YouTube. So we're taking on board a lot of that. We're starting some new initiatives to do with getting more contributions, both internally to Alfresco and externally, hopefully. And we're also looking at new initiatives like crowdsourcing for more of those videos. So Andy Healy, I'm sure, who sat over there, my colleague, giving you a wave, would be delighted to talk to you more about some of that initiative for those technical developer and sysadmin videos. This is my big plug. I'm going to leave that up. It's my last slide, and it's going to stay on forever. So we know there's a lot more to do. We're here at BeeCon, Andy and I, we're here at BeeCon to listen and learn. What we want to hear from you, I've been talking to a lot of you, is we want your feedback. We know that you give us lots of feedback. We really do get lots of feedback through the feedback form on the docs page, but also through the ALF project for documentation type. Please keep sending that forward. We really do appreciate it. The more that you send us the feedback, the more you're writing for Alfresco too. and we want to thank you for your input to that. So I guess that's really it for me, but I just wanted to point out that we're hiring. We're looking for somebody for really focusing on the developer experience, the API documentation in particular, which we're trying to really develop. And so if you're interested, please speak to me. Thank you.